Oh, I think we are. I think we are live. And I think you can hear me this week. Oh my. Welcome to the Podcasters Lounge. Yes, we are live. All right. We're going to have some fun today. I hope you're chilling. I hope you have your beverage of choice. I hope you like that little funky groove that I actually made that a while back. We're going to go over the topic. I'm going to zip through the topics in a second, but I'm drinking my nice Wu Yi Oolong tea. And so what are you drinking is the question. And I also have some Perrier. And I also have my water, the Essentia. So that's what I got going on. I'm just going to get some tunes going. And I'm psyched to be here in the lounge. We're going to quickly go over what we're going to talk about. So here we go. What are we going to... Where is it? Oh, yeah. Oops. All right. We're going to talk about... That looks good. All right. The chat's going... My email newsletter, I'm reviving it. Monthly resources for podcasters and producers. We got Pro Q3. It's a plugin by FabFilter. We got Loopback 2, which is an application from Rogue Amoeba. We got this. Oh, this is going to be big. The Acoustimeter. I just recently bought this, and I'm detecting a bunch of EMF everywhere. We're going to talk about that. And the Bose QC35 headphones. I'm going to talk about that too. Here's actually one of the books that I bought for the EMFs. We'll talk about that. Here's my Ledger Nano S. Yes, I actually... so now I have this is a cryptocurrency wallet. And it looks like the Restream chat here it says 5 out of 5. So I think that means that... you know what that means? That means that the Facebook chat is finally integrated here. Can that possibly be the case? I'm just putting it on the screen. The chat is ready to display messages. That's great, but I don't think anyone is typing any messages. Because I don't, a lot of streamers they'll come online with a little screen that says, hey, we'll be on shortly. And then it lets everyone log in. I just go live, so there's 0 people there. Which is why I do my quick overview of the topics. So, all right, our buddy Dave Jackson wrote this article about how monthly stats mislead. We're going to talk about stats. Here, that's my email. All right, Radio Public. Get paid when people listen to your podcast. Yeah. This is sort of exciting times. Anyway, we'll talk about it. And Mark Asquith and Rebel Base Media. We're going to talk about that. Anchor wants a future where everyone reads Squarespace ads. Talk a little bit about Anchor. Of course, Daniel J. Lewis recently published this really awesome blog post on December 3rd, a couple days ago, about podcast hosting and customers and stuff. Then season 3 of Serial is the biggest. It's their biggest season ever. Okay. Then we're going to talk about Coup. Cuckoo. Hey, no, Facebook is not. Ed Sullivan is here on Facebook. Hey, Ed. No, I don't see the chat coming up here. I'm not actually. It says 5 out of 5 connected, but I'm not seeing any chat whatsoever, which is weird. Can I try and refresh this? What should I do? All right, hold on. Restream chat. Edit. View. Always on top. I don't know. If you're oh geez. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, if you could just comment, just type in anything, and we'll see if this is this is work. Oh, that would be terrible if it didn't work. Oh, I know what to do. Let me go to the restream. Let me go to chat. I can open up the chat here. Oh, Ed Sullivan, he's on Twitch. Yes. Okay, Twitch is showing up. So yeah, even though it says Facebook is connected, it's not showing up. Oh, that's good. So I hope someone on YouTube can make a comment as well and make sure YouTube's coming through. I think it would. Twitch and YouTube usually come through. Okay, so that's Daniel J. Lewis's article. And by the way, what are you doing? Where are you? What are you drinking? I got to drink my tea here. So this is the Podcasters Lounge. This is where we chill every Wednesday evening for a couple hours. Talk about podcasting, all different aspects of podcasting. I guess maybe because I'm more of a technical, I'm an engineer and a technical producer, that sometimes we get into technical stuff because of my podcast engineering school, which is right here, Podcast Engineering School. Yes, learn to engineer and produce podcasts at a professional level. So, yeah, Ed Sullivan looks like it's still not. Hey, Ed Sullivan. Oh, Ed Sullivan chiming in on all 3 platforms. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, Ed. Ed is a recent graduate of Podcast Engineering School. And he produces a bunch of shows up there near Boston. All right. Oh, Serial Season 3. I mentioned that. Koo! It's a social network for short form podcasts. Okay. We talked about another one of these recently. But yeah. Then, okay. Possibly a new microphone from Rode. I don't know. We'll see in a minute. And, oh, Darknet Diaries. Apparently this is a podcast show. Hey, David Ford, newish listener, first time tuning into the live stream. Got my tea here. Yes, tea! My fellow tea drinker. Cool. Yes, welcome, David Ford. Happy to have you here, man. Seriously, welcome. Thanks for chiming in. Instead of just lurking. Some people lurk, which is okay. It's okay if you're lurking. Hello, lurkers. So, okay, this is a show called Darknet Diaries, and I guess it's their 27th episode, and they talk about the Apple Podcast charts. Now, I don't know if this show's good. I don't know if what they say is true. I was actually wanted to check it out myself, but I didn't get around to it yet. So, anyway, we'll talk. Well, I guess that's all I have to say on that. Libsyn has their own podcast directory now. Well, it's really just kind of in one spot where you can look up stuff, and we'll talk about that. And then, of course, Waves Sibilance, which it's a plugin for Sibilance. I guess I can leave that up. Yeah. So yeah, and who knows? We might even do what are Sound Gym. We might even play some games today. Let's start training. Okay, here's all my info. Thank you. Why can't I just log in? Why did it have to show all my stuff to everybody? Thank you. Anyway, some ear training, Sound Gym. And last week, did I get to mention? Oh, I did. That the World Chess Championship ended. Magnus Carlsen still the champ. Yeah, that's good tea. So I get my tea from my friend Wei. She has a shop. It's called Arogia, and let's go to the homepage. Yes, see, arogia.net. And that's her and her husband and her daughter, but that's an old picture. I think they're a little older. Anyway, they have a bunch of teas. Everyday good teas, healing blends, artisan teas. And what's cool is that she actually goes to China at least once a year and starts buying, and looks at a bunch of different teas. She visits the places where they're grown, and she picks out like the tea that she wants to buy and then come back over here and sell it. So this is like the real deal tea. This isn't like, raspberry whatever. This is like the real Chinese tea leaves. Anyway, it's not cheap. It's a little expensive, but it's really good. So anyway, shout out to Wei and Gregor and Rose. Yes, Rose, I think. So there's that. So yeah, I think the last email I sent out, this is my monthly email. If you're not signed up, you can just go to podcastengineerschool.com and you could find it right here in the sidebar, and it's also on the bottom. But I sent an email out in July, and then all that GDPR stuff happened, and I had Alan Tepper help me update my GDPR, and then it was a mess, and then I had to email my list and tell them all to opt in, and then, because it was confusing, and I actually did that too soon, I had to start an entire new list and ask everyone to go opt into a new list. And I literally was fed up. I was like, you know what, forget it, I'm not doing email, forget this, And so anyway, months and months later, what is it, 4 months later, I kind of, I was like, you know what? It's just a monthly email. Now, it does take me some time, but, like, I could send out a monthly email. So I spent some time. It's going out Friday. And by the way, the whole GDPR thing, what a crock of crap that is. I mean, really? No one's even doing it right. No one in the U.S. is complying properly. I mean, I should say very few are. It's just a bunch of crap, man. And I just can't stand it when organizations and big companies do things like this, because most of the time it's stupid. Like every time you buy a new phone, and every couple years they change all the connectors, so you got to replace all your cables and headphones and everything, right? How stupid that is. Well, that's like what in all these industries, that's what happens, and it's horrendous. I mean, look, it is what it is. I'm not saying I can't change it, but God, it's very frustrating, It's like now for you to send someone an email, I got to agree to a bunch of stuff and check a box, and no one checks the box. Well, a lot of people forget to check the box, right? So that was a pain in the ass. So FabFilter Pro Q3, I don't know, have you guys heard about FabFilter or Pro Q2, which was around for many years, and now Pro Q3 just came out. Geez, where is everybody on the live stream? Last week we had all kinds of fun. There was a lot of people here. The chat was hopping. And today, well, I guess we're just getting started too. But anyway, Pro Q3, it's an EQ plugin, but it's not just an EQ. Like this is like the Lamborghini of EQ plugins. Like this thing is better than any EQ plugin ever made, I think. Like, this is just, it's awesome in so many ways. It's hard to explain. Now there may be some classic EQs that give a certain sound, they color the sound. And I know Pro Q3, technically colors the sound a little bit, but in general, these Pro Q2 and Pro Q3 can do so much. It's really cool. So, yeah, David Ford says the Pro Q2 is a go-to. Yeah, me too, man. Oh, this isn't good for my wallet. Well, the upgrade to Pro Q3 isn't that much. I think it was, I don't even know what it was. $60 or $80, something like that. I mean, I don't know. I was hoping for like $29 upgrade, but it wasn't. But yeah, I don't even think I'm using it yet. So this is one of my older episodes of my show. And yeah, the Pro Q2 is still there, but and I'm not even using it. So, but the Pro Q3, where is it? It's in my favorites, EQ, Pro Q3, yeah. Man, this, like I make the, there it is. I make the when I stream, I'm on an iMac Pro, big screen, and then but when I stream, I make the resolution really big, like the font really big, everything really big, so that you guys can see it easily. Because if I kept it as normal, you guys would be looking at the screen like, oh, what is that? Oh, what is that? so when everything's big, it's weird, just weird. Anyway, the Pro Q3, I guess they got some new features like this. The flat tilt is one of them. Oh yeah, wait, oops. Oh yeah, the flat tilt. And it's funny. There's some times when I really want to do something like a flat tilt, but I would have to do it by hand before. But now this thing's pretty cool. So anyway, Pro Q3, I haven't used it much, just a little bit. It still has everything that's great about the Pro Q2. It has, and even more. So anyway, not gonna do a whole tutorial on it here, but yeah, some people, especially some people who enroll into podcast engineering school, they end up finding out about great software and great plugins and Isotope RX7, stuff like that, and they're like, and then they spend money, but it's not spending money, it's investing in yourself. Come on. All right, Loopback. Loopback is Rogue Amoeba. Loopback is awesome it's Mac only for Macs, not PC, but you can route, hey, welcome. I always forget everybody's name. They should make it like, I'm sure there's got to be software like someone who's streaming or something, like I could like attach a name to your handle just so I can see it, so then I could remember your name. But anyway, welcome. Yes, so yeah, nicknames, exactly. Like Ralph M. Rivera, we could call him like Chachi or something, make up a goofy name. Yeah, so Loopback is routing on your Mac, which this thing can do everything. You can create virtual devices, and you can do anything. It's awesome, and so the reason I'm bringing it up is because they've had Loopback for actually, I think since the beginning of 2016, which actually that makes sense then why, like, if you look at my old setup, Ed Sullivan, he only bought 12 plugins when he went to podcast engineering school. That's all? Is it on my page? Yeah, so you can see this is a picture of my old studio. This is, from 2012 to actually pretty much earlier this year, 2018. Until I got my iMac Pro, I had all kinds of stuff set up because things like Loopback didn't exist. But apparently Loopback did come into being in 2016. So I guess I could have got it a little earlier, but it took me a while to hear about it. Then I had to switch from PC to Mac, okay? Not just something you do overnight and like, oh, I think I'll just switch. So anyway, the Loopback 2 is out. Anyone get that? 2! They just released Loopback 2, and the user interface is a little, well, it's different. It's okay. You could see it kind of like you could see how things are connected. It's kind of nice. And yeah, I use it. Well, where's mine? Here, I'll show you mine. Here it is. This is mine. These are on the left here. These are all virtual devices. To Zoom, to Skype. Oops, I don't want to click on. Oop. Well, it doesn't matter if I click on it, but anyway, all kinds of virtual devices because I'm routing things to all over the place when I have lots of programs open. Like if you look at what I got open now, we look in Audio Hijack, you can see I got my mic, I got my sound clips. Where's Barry? Hold on. Where's Barry?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. I'll see. That wasn't loud enough. How about now, Barry?
Oh, forget it.
Yeah, better. So, actually, I want to move this in like that so now you can see the whole thing. But anyway, I got my mic. I got my iPad coming through this other input through the Mix Pre6. Then I got my Reaper. I got Isotope. I got Twisted Wave open to show you guys stuff. Then I got Chrome audio. Then I got Pretzel, which is playing the music. And I got Zoom if I needed it. And I also have Skype if I needed it, but I have that turned off. But the next 2 weeks on the Podcasters Lounge, I'm going to have guests join me. And I want to be clear, it's not a guest like I'm going to be like, so welcome Steve Stewart, welcome to the Podcasters Lounge. Why don't you tell us how you got into audio and why don't you start at birth and bore us to death with 49 years, or I don't know how old he is, 38 years of your life, so that the people tuning in can just hear that nonsense for 15 minutes and don't care about it. Yuck. What a terrible first question to a podcast. So, and I know everyone does it, so you can hate me if you want, but so why don't you tell us how you got into studying grasshoppers and all that? Hey, Heather's here from New Zealand, the Sun Power Podcast. Hey, Heather. What are you drinking, Heather? Oh, for you, it's like midday, so you might be drinking tea as well. I got some wooey. Yeah. So anyway, there you go. So next 2 weeks, though, I'm gonna have some people on, but it's not gonna be like interview style. It's gonna be like we're hanging. We're in a lounge. I can't wait till I get the green screen and my big lounge chair and my smoking jacket and yes, Anthony. See, I thought it was Anthony. Ugh! Gotta trust my instincts. All right. So yeah, Loopback 2 is out. Did I have to pay? Yeah, I had to. I think I did have to pay to upgrade. Oh, now I can't even remember. But see, for me, it's different than most people because I'm like, I produce podcasts, so like tools like this, I need them. Like when a new one comes out, I gotta get it because I use those tools. I need the tools, and it's a business expense, right? So I always have to get the most current stuff. All right. Are you guys ready? Okay, now I'm not gonna, unless you guys, I'm gonna try not to go off the deep end here too much. But I just learned a lot more about EMF, electromagnetic frequency radiation. So Heather, yeah, you need a Mac. Yep, for the Rogue Amoeba. Oh, and Ed upgraded recently, so he got the... he bought it recently, so he got the upgrade. Nice. Yeah, Macs are pretty handy. Well, for Loopback and Audio Hijack, that's like unbelievable. You can't do anything like that on a PC. Although you can do some things, and you can get by with a PC. Actually, you can. So it's not, All right, so I got into these EMFs recently, and because I read somewhere online how some people were like sort of feeling a little, they didn't have energy, or they just kind of blah, and some people were saying that because of all the EMFs in our life, the electromagnetic frequency radiation that comes to us from Wi-Fi routers, from Bluetooth, and wireless connections like that. It comes from the device, though. So when you have your cell phone, so your cell phone's connected to the cell phone carrier, the cell towers and stuff, your phone emits a lot of EMFs. If you have any device like an iPad or something connected to Wi-Fi, anything connected to Wi-Fi, that will also radiate a bunch of EMFs. Where's my list right here? Yeah. So a smartphone using 4G and or Wi-Fi, a computer using Bluetooth with a Bluetooth mouse or keyboard, I was using a Bluetooth mouse until like a couple days ago when I got this meter and I started measuring, and just by using a Bluetooth mouse, my computer was like radiating a lot of EMFs, and I'm like, no, I don't want that. So anyway, I've been on this big kick about getting rid of these. So the Comcast router, I had a router from the company, from the cable company, and that thing was radiating. And the thing is, I couldn't turn it off. I could turn off my local Wi-Fi. So in the house, my Wi-Fi network was off. It was invisible. But in the background, Comcast has a public Wi-Fi that you can't turn off. So that their router was just radiating the whole time. And so I actually took it, I got rid of it. I went to the store, I bought my own modem, my own router, and I made sure that the router I got, I could turn off the Wi-Fi completely. And so I brought back the Comcast router, and thank God. Yeah, microwave oven. Oh, this is it, by the way. Oh, hold on a second. Yeah, now you can see better. Okay, can you see that? So this is the meter, and if you turn it on, so this is funny. What is it picking up now? My headphones? Can you hear it? Anyway, those levels right there, what it's picking up is very low. It's almost nothing. But I'm curious what it is. Now I'm going to have to figure that out. Like if it's my headphones or the mic. I mean, there's nothing else wireless that's on right now. The mic? Maybe it's the lights? I don't know. Anyway, you get the idea. So, microwave oven, oh my God. Because I've always heard that microwaves give off a lot of these EMFs. And I was like, oh, let's see. I took this thing over there and I put on the microwave, and everything went all the way up, pinned red. I mean, it's a little scary. And also my Bose Bluetooth noise canceling headphones, which is these. Let me open it up. I'll show you. These I got. They're awesome. And actually Ralph M. Rivera suggested them. Here they are. And they're really cool Bose noise canceling headphones. Problem is, let me see if I could do this all with one hand. Problem is, when you have this on, and you can see the levels, and then we turn on the Bose headphones. Dude, it even sounds bad. All right, I turned it off. Jeez. Yeah, so it's a little scary. Especially knowing that I used to carry my phone in my pocket all the time. So, and now they say, well, there's all this research. You can go research it. I don't want to scare you too much, but like now for my phone, I always keep it in airplane mode. And every now and then I'll turn on the 4G and to see if I have any messages or emails or texts or anything. But now I always keep this on airplane mode, because if I take it off airplane mode, it also radiates a lot. It's kind of scary. Fluorescent lights give it off. Yeah, fluorescent lights, right? So I do have those. So yeah, there you go. That must be what that is. Yeah, because when I turned it around, so now eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to I want to replace those lights. Get away from fluorescent. So this meter here, look, I paid a lot of money. I paid $370 for this meter, But like, and so I'll end with this, because if you have questions, ask me. But if not, we'll move on, because I don't want to scare the daylights out of everybody. I mean, my neighbor was over earlier today, and you know, he has kids and they have Wi-Fi, and the kids are on their computers and their phones, and it's just become part of life that we have all these wireless devices, and there's all this electromagnetic radiation hitting us, and it's only getting stronger. And here's the thing, it's so new that even when these big companies say like, oh no, it doesn't harm people, like, how do they know? Okay, I didn't die right now in 5 minutes, but long term, how do you know? I mean, there's all kinds of people get cancer in their ear from holding their phone, or the women who keep their phone right in their bra or whatever, they get breast cancer. Like, so, you know, and of course, here's the problem. No one's going to really talk about that too much, because wireless is so integral to our daily lives right now. So yeah, David Ford asked, do you feel any different after removing some of those frequencies? Yes. And here's the thing. I think I might be really sensitive, because when I got the new router from the cable company, and my old router was literally 3 feet from my head, maybe 3.5 feet. Like, I could almost touch it if I reach out my arm. So the old modem was there. I got the new modem, router/modem, and I put it there, and immediately I felt like I could just, I don't know, it was subtle, I'll give you that, but it was like, something ain't right, or this thing's strong. I felt the same thing when a month and a half ago when I bought the Google Pixel 3. I wanted to get a new phone. I'm like, yeah, I'll get the Google Pixel 3. It's supposed to be better than everything. And man, that thing radiated. That thing, I was like, man, this thing is like, something's coming off of this thing. And it was kind of like mild headache, but just weird. And anyway, I took the Google Pixel 3, I returned it. And so yeah, now, so for the last 2 days, or maybe 3 days, I've shut off everything. Like, we don't use Wi-Fi unless we really need to in the house. My Bluetooth on my computer's off. My phone's off in airplane mode. My Bose headphones, my Bose noise canceling headphones, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to use them again. And it's funny, when I was wearing these Bose headphones, I actually wore them in my cross-country trip to Vegas earlier this year, and I wore them in the car for like, I don't know, 8-10 hours, and I felt weird. My head felt weird during that trip, and I'm like, man, what are these things giving off something? Like, I felt it, and I told my wife, I told my friend, I was like, these things feel like, it makes my head feel weird. So I don't know, maybe I'm sensitive, but anyway, that's a meter that you can use. These are those, oh wait, sorry, I'm not sharing my screen. These are those Bose headphones, the Quiet Comfort 35 wireless headphones 2. They're really great. The noise canceling is great, but man, they're wireless and they radiate pretty good. And this is a book I got, The Non-Tinfoil Guide to EMFs, How to Fix Our Stupid Use of Technology. And I bought another book as well, but this one seems better. Just really helpful, just to be helpful and be aware. Because the thing is, it's not like an hour is going to kill you. But 20 years, we don't know how do you know what that's going to do? So there's that. Now, if you're watching and listening, if you own, well, no, I don't want to. If you own any cryptocurrency and you're okay to tell the world or to tell us, just type 1 into the chat, the number 1. If you own any cryptocurrency. Oh, Ed Sullivan. Another good reason to use a wired mouse and keyboard is that I had a Bluetooth battery mouse die in the middle of a live podcast. Yeah, I feel good to be wired. My keyboard's wired, my mouse is wired now, and you know what? I don't need to be cool, man. Oh, I'm all wireless, man. Like, dude, I just got to get work done, and you know, no one's filming me for a keyboard commercial, right? All right, I finished my tea. So what, any of you guys put out any, tell me what your latest episode was. If you're in the chat, type in what your latest episode was about. And since since there's not like a zillion people, you can even put a link to your latest episode if you want. So maybe if anyone else is interested to check it out. Yeah, let's do it. Let's promote ourselves in chat. Yes! Come on, and you can grunt. When you hit the enter key, just be like, Yeah, feel free to link to your thing. Heather did one talking about earthquakes. Okay, yeah, earthquakes, man. Jeez. Wow. Ed Sullivan, Pit Life Barbecue. Winterizing your smoker. Okay. Right? Smoking, barbecue. That's awesome. Brandon Gonzalez is here. What's up, dude? He did a chat about ATC with Rob Mark from Flying Magazine. ATC? What's ATC, Brandon? The host brought ribs. David Ford, you're in Colorado too, huh? David Ford does an interview show with music artists along the Colorado Front Range, as well as a weekly music news calendar. That's cool, David. I'm in Colorado Springs. Where are you? Up in Denver or north of that? So this is the little crypto wallet I got. It's a Ledger Nano S. It's almost like, Brandon says air traffic control. Yeah, right. All right. I guess I should have known that. But this is, it's not quite like a USB stick, but you do have to plug it in via USB. And this is like a crypto wallet. So literally you could store cryptocurrency on this little, it's small too. Wait, I got it right here. See, I'm getting good at changing screens. You guys see this? You guys see me changing scenes? All right, well, there you go. And like I said, you plug it in and then you got to get it ready. And then it's so cool because like apparently when you register it and then you put crypto on it, like, you know, obviously it has to be secure. So if someone else grabs it, like if someone just rips it out of your hand and runs away, they shouldn't be able to plug it into a computer and then they got all your crypto. So they give you 24 keywords. Oh, that's all blown out. Anyway, apparently they give you 24 code words and you have to write all 24 down. So I guess, you know, obviously they're trying to be really secure. David Ford, you're in Boulder. Oh, that's cool, man. We went to Boulder several times, and sometimes we drive through that area when we go up to the big national forest. I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, so anyway, that's my crypto thing. Okay, Dave Jackson. Everyone knows Dave Jackson. Most of you have probably hugged Dave Jackson. All right. All right. Maybe not, but you know, it's Dave Jackson. I mean, come on. So he wrote this article for the Podcast Business Journal, which I don't know what that is. Podcast Business Journal. Is that? Oh, I heard this was coming out. I didn't know it was out yet, but anyway, yeah, he talks about how monthly stats can mislead, and I actually didn't get to read this, but, you know, stats are funny, right? You got to just be careful when you're looking at stats, because it's almost like you can twist the numbers to mean anything, sort of. So anyway, let me just look at this. I was at a conference where they announced that the next speaker coming to the stage had launched a few months ago and had already achieved 10,000 downloads per month. Now, if you're hearing that, if you do a weekly show, you might think, wow, 10,000 downloads, that's 2,500 per episode, right? If you did 4 episodes in a month, that's 2,500 each, adds up to 10,000. The problem is Dave's show, which is the Podcast Rodeo show, he does 6,000 downloads a month. And the other show, 10,000 downloads a month. Both publish 3 times per week instead of 4 episodes per month. So there are 12. So this leads you to think that his Podcast Rodeo show gets about 500 per episode. But when Dave looks at a show, he gets between 200 and 300. So what's the source of these other 200 downloads? The answer is his back catalog. Yeah, so right, it makes sense. So if you put out, let's just say four episodes a month, right? 1 per week for a month. And like, for instance, Libsyn or your whatever podcast host will tell you this month you've had this many downloads. But that includes the 4 you put out this month, but it also includes all your back catalog. So that's why I always look at, I always look per episode, right? Like I'll look at like episode 109, how many downloads did that get? You know, that cause then you know, right? Then you know, then you can, that's why a good reliable stat is how many downloads does each of your episodes average from the day it's posted till 4 weeks out. So one episode, you post the episode, and 4 weeks later, what's the total amount of downloads for that episode? That's a good number in terms of how many downloads does your show get, right? Ed says one of the shows he produces has about 450 episodes. About 20% of the monthly downloads are from the back catalog. Yeah, totally back catalog, which is really great. I mean, yeah, so you can look at it another way. So if you did get, like this article saying, if you did get, oh, see, I meant to put it back on this one. If you did get 10,000 downloads a month, that does mean 10,000 downloads a month. It just doesn't mean only from the episodes that you published this month, right? So they're all valid stats, but you got to know how to look at it. So it's a nice short article by Dave, but anyway, he makes a great point. Monthly stats can mislead. That's why, again, I always look at per episode for the first 4 weeks it's out. That number, that number they say is like, that's how many listeners you can claim to have. Because if you think of download numbers, okay, fine. But if you think of how many people are listening to my show, the 4 week number is a really good gauge of that. I haven't looked at mine in a while, but some people don't even really worry about downloads. For instance, my show supports my school, right? So my podcast engineering school, this is my school. This is part of my business. This is how I earn income, right? From teaching people at the school. Well, my podcast show is just supporting the school, right? So my podcast show is helping to let people know about the school. And so my real metric for myself is how many students do I have in my school? So Anthony says most of our downloads a month are the back catalog. Average about 700 a month, and it even turns out to be an average of 100 per episode. Wow, that's a good sign. So people must be binging. Right? That's really good, Anthony. Anyway, all right, Radio Public. Radio Public, it's an app. And get paid when people listen to your podcast on Radio Public. So you might have heard about this. I don't think this is, new this week or anything. But, you could start earning money. And I thought this was interesting here. So what is paid listens? It's simple. We pay participating podcasters a guaranteed amount for every listen you get through the Radio Public apps for iOS and Android. And we bookend each episode with a short ad spot. So there you go. If you see, so in a way, what they're trying to do is, because you would have to promote the Radio Public app. Right? And here's the problem with any other app besides it's interesting. I wonder if anyone's done a study recently on which actual podcast apps get the most listens. And I don't know if you could do that. I don't know. Maybe that's a dumb question. But certainly the Apple Podcast app, the native app on the iPhones and stuff, that app probably gets the most downloads overall. And then you have Overcast, which is a really popular app. And then you got other popular, podcatchers, podcast players. And so Radio Public, basically, if you want to get paid more, you got to promote their app. You got to say, hey, listen to my show on the Radio Public app. And that's just weird to me because people listen how they listen, right? People like me, I listen with Podcast Addict. And if you asked me to switch apps, oh, see? All right, I'm going to remember to switch back too. See? Podcast Addict. Now, if you asked me to switch and, listen on Radio Public. No, I'm not. I already listen on Podcast Addict. I'm not changing. I have all my favorites. I have right? So that's why this is a little, it's a marketing ploy, right? I think. What do you guys think? Have any of you ever listened to Radio Public with the Radio Public app? And would you, do they even let you pick which ad, they're going to bookend each of your episodes with a short ad spot. Do you get to know what ads? Or is it, or do you just say, yes, I want to make money, and then they're just going to slap any ad on there? Could be an ad that you don't want to be associated with, right? The ads are so touchy, and it's such a touchy subject for real podcasters. Like I said before, I don't want any ads. I don't. Unless one of these audio companies paid me a significant amount of money, I'm not having ads on my show. I don't want to ruin it. I can't stand ads when I hear ads most of the time. Yeah, never. Barry Gary's here.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's right. That's the different Barry, but that's Barry. So, right, Anthony? Maybe if you could approve the ads, that'd help. Yeah. Yeah, ads are just, I don't know. Now I get it. When you blow up and you get like a bajillion downloads, then yeah, it makes sense to put an ad in then, because then you'll make some real money. So, all right. Anyway, Radio Public, paid listens. Do you guys get the feeling like a lot of these? I think it's like every industry now. There's so many companies that think they. There's so many companies. Barry Gary, your voice doesn't sound that cool. Barry from the Podcast Engineering Show. What is Barry Gary gonna need to really get his voice to where yours is?
You're gonna need a couple of horses or a couple of mules.
There you go. Well, so the advice. I mean, take it or leave it. Anyway, in a lot of the technical fields, and even in cryptocurrency, in online marketing, anything digital, it seems like there are some big companies like social media, right? There's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, whatever. But it seems like there's a million other small companies really trying to get in there, and just because you're the small guy, you got to try hard. You got to do some goofy stuff and try this, try that. And so when companies do stuff like this, That's what it feels like to me. They're just trying to do anything different just to try to get noticed. And maybe, hey, maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll catch on and it'll be big, right? Maybe not. Probably not, but and I guess you got to expect that, right? That's how the world works. You got, all these little guys fighting for their share of the market. Makes sense. But marketing's tough though. For me. Oh, but I did I listened to a marketing podcast episode that I really liked. I'm going to tell you what it is. It was from The Disruptive Entrepreneur. That's the show. Yeah. Yeah, Rob Moore. Maybe it's this one. Rob Moore podcast. Yeah, this is it. The Disruptive Entrepreneur. Oh, and he has another one too. But anyway, I listened to, this is it right here. On the bottom left, you can see number 323, 15 ways to create great content, build a vast audience, and whatever, yada, yada. I gotta say, I've never heard a marketing person give like really good marketing ideas. I mean, spell it all out. And just like, I listened to this and I was like, there's like 10 things there that I can do like today. And I felt like I could. And I was like, geez, finally someone just gave me spelled it out what I can do to grow my school. So yeah, Ed Sullivan, the CPM model is rough. Yeah. Well, you know what? The CPM model is like, it's almost like, well, it's like advertising. I guess that's how it is, but it almost feels like the way they're doing it in radio, they're trying to do the same thing in podcasting, which I don't know. I guess it makes sense. B Gary 001. Wait, who's B Gary 001? Is that Barry Gary? Or B Gary 001. All right, well, welcome. If you're not Barry Gary, tell us who you are. And you can't throw a rock without hitting a marketing podcast or an entrepreneur podcast or a financial advice podcast. Yeah, but I'm telling you, and I don't know if the show's good. I don't know if he's good. I don't know anything. All I know is I listened to the one episode, 21 minutes, and I was like, dude, it is Barry Gary. Everybody's switching platforms. Twitch, YouTube. No one's on Facebook anymore. But unfortunately, I'm going to still have to stream to Facebook because I said I would. And someday the chat here someday Facebook is going to get pulled into this chat, and then we're going to have a party. But for now, we're just going to drink Perrier, okay? So what do you guys got? And someone should tweet at this guy Rob Moore and tell him I'm talking about him. I always thought, like, for the live stream, I always wish I had here's what I always wish. I always wish I had a lot of money so I could hire like an assistant or two. Just and so if I had an assistant, I would be telling him or her to, while I'm doing the live stream, as soon as I start talking about Rob Moore, tweet out to Rob Moore and say, hey, Chris Kern's talking about you in the Podcasters Lounge, and give the link. Right? I don't know. Wouldn't that be cool? I don't know. Yeah, Barry, Twitch is cool. Twitch is a really cool platform. Chat seems quicker on Twitch as opposed to YouTube. Interesting. Anthony's cooking and watching. Hey, one thing I want to say, I was talking to my good buddy Michael Helms, who you probably remember, the Location Sound podcast. Michael Helms. I was talking to him. He was tuned in last week to the stream, the Podcasters Lounge, and he said he typed in a comment and it took like a minute and a half or 2 minutes to show up. If that ever happens to you, the reason is because your connection isn't good and it's like buffering. So you're actually, like, he even said that as he was watching the stream, like, it would stop for like 5 seconds and then it would continue. So after it stops for 5 seconds, like 20 times, you're going to be like a minute and a half or 2 minutes behind. So if there's ever a delay between the chat and stuff, just actually close the app real quick and then open it up again and reconnect again, and you'll reconnect live, and then you'll be as close as you can to live, and then hopefully your connection speed will keep you, up. Will keep you up. So, all right. So Mark Asquith, he's a guy I know. I've met him a bunch of times. Real cool guy. He was working on podcast websites, which I think was co-owned by John Lee Dumas. And now apparently over the past week they're changing. They're Rebel Base Media. And oh wait, where's the? Oh, he doesn't have the link in there. Yeah, Rebel Base Media, and where's the web? I wanted to see the website real quick. Okay. Whoa! Warning: this link may be unsafe. What? Why is this link unsafe? I'm gonna copy it. Right? Don't you guys sort of like kind of freak out if you get a pop-up like that? Right? That's a little weird. Right? What is Twitter? Wow. Were they really getting strict or something? Anyway, Rebel Base Media, they got a bunch. They got graphic design services now. They got Rebel Base Studios. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a studio. It's a physical studio in Sheffield, UK. Okay, and Captivate. This is podcast hosting. So they're stepping in to be competition with Libsyn and Blueberry, and Audio Boom and the other big guys. That's pretty bold, but hey, like I was just saying, people are starting businesses, doing stuff, right? Do it. That's what I say. If you can do it, do it. And then there's the Podcast Success Academy. I'm not sure what that is. And they still have podcast websites. So it's interesting. Right? Wait, what is productivity? Did we see that? Right? What does productivity mean? Productivity. Standardizing audience interaction across the podcast industry. Whoa. What does that even mean? Anyway, I'm not going to read it, but anyway, it's kind of interesting. I thought I would just show it because I was interested in it. And, these guys, podcast websites have been around for years, and I would guess they're doing well enough. Maybe they're not killing it like they thought they would. Maybe they are. Maybe they're absolutely killing it through the roof. I don't know. But, hey, Sandy DeWald is here. Finally able to join the chat through YouTube. Right? You were driving. Woo! Yeah, not today. Now you're chilling. So, all right. Anyway, that's Rebel Base Media, and that's whatever that is. And this is Michael Helms, Location Sound Podcast. Are you subscribed? Anyway, my friend Mike. It's a good show. It's like how my show is like hardcore engineering stuff. His show is the same way because he's an actual audio engineer too. So if you're in Location Sound, what they're talking about is like recording TV commercials and movies and stuff. So it's not like it's not podcast, but still you can learn a lot of audio knowledge. Oh yeah, that's the disruptive entrepreneur that I mentioned. I should just leave some of these open. Wait, what happened? I thought when I hit. Anyway, what's going on? All right. I don't want to mess things up. I'm streaming here. Okay, let's move on. Anchor wants a future where everyone reads Squarespace ads. Yeah, Barry. Mike's show is definitely really technical. Sandy's in a hotel. Michael the sound guy. All right, so Anchor wants a future where everyone reads Squarespace ads. Oh, and first of all, I want to talk about Anchor. You guys have heard of Anchor, right? The new platform that, well, it's not that new anymore, but it's kind of like a social media app, but it's for podcasting. So it's trying to like make podcasting available to everyone and make it real easy to just, get an app on your phone and talk and then press a button and have it go everywhere, right? Kind of cool. Hey, sounds good, good idea. And anyway, when they started out, they had terrible terms of service and like they owned your podcast and stuff. Now they fixed all that, but now they're starting to integrate ads and stuff. So I don't know. I haven't looked into this very much either, but like I guess if you excuse me, if you tell Anchor that you want to monetize your show with ads, I think they will work with you to find a good sponsor, and then when there's a good match, then you actually read the ads on your show. Like it's you have to read the ad. So anyway, again, trying to monetize, right? Because I don't know, from a high level, that's one of the reasons podcasting hasn't grown quickly is because there's not that much money in it. Like if you compare the podcast industry to like radio is way bigger. It's not even close. It's not even in the same universe. And of course, TV is even way beyond radio, right? So anyway, that's why everyone's trying to figure out how to monetize podcasts, because then everyone will get into it because they want to make money. But the listening habits are the other side of the equation, right? Like how many people listen to podcasts? And how many podcasts can one person listen to in a day? I don't know. Sounds like someone should have a world record for that, right? Oh, I listened to 438 podcast episodes in one 24-hour period. That'd be kind of cool. But then I guess you could just speed up the audio and just sit there, veg out. That wouldn't count. Anyway, that's dumb. All right, so Daniel J. Lewis. You guys know Daniel J. Lewis, the Audacity to Podcast. He, for so many years, arguably just one of the best podcast coach and consultant and person with the most knowledge in the podcasting industry might be Daniel J. Lewis, right? Anyway, so he talked about podcast hosting, and look, and I'll include the link to this post, but he goes nutty in this post. He talks about all the podcast hosting companies and how many podcasts that they actually host. Anthony, do any of the podcast apps keep your listening stats? I know Podbean shows. Yeah, I think they do. I think in the app somewhere it'll tell you like the total time listened. But I guess it's total. I don't know if it's broken down by month, but I remember I looked a year or two ago, or I found it on my app or something, and it was like, I don't even know what it was. Like 121 hours and whatever. I don't know. But yeah, look in your app. You can find out how much you listen to. So this is a list of many of the podcast hosting companies, not Blueberry. And I don't know why Blueberry is not on his list, but you can see how many podcast shows each platform has. And so here's the interesting thing about this post. Anthony's over 1,000 hours, dude. Here's to you, good sir. I'm not going to screw this cap on because I just keep screwing it on, screwing it off. All right. 1,000 hours. Yeah. Chris, you helped on sound quality, but I need a podcast school for all the other stuff like hosting, links, and all the tech stuff. Barry Gary. Well, hosting, links, and all the tech stuff. I mean, Barry, if you just use Libsyn, you can do most everything with Libsyn, and they have a help section, tutorials. They even have, support that you can contact. You can ask questions, and at times they'll even get on the phone with you and straighten you out real quick. I mean, that's Dave Jackson's day job, right? He works for Libsyn as a support staff. So, yeah, all that stuff. I mean, you could get most of it from Libsyn, and I'm sure Blueberry's the same way, right? I'm sure they have help and support and tutorials. And then as far as links and stuff, like website and stuff, yeah, website stuff is different, right? WordPress and all like that. I'm not that great at that. I will say, funny that we're on the page with Daniel J. Lewis. He has his, it should say it right here somewhere. Yeah, Podcaster Society right here. He has a Podcaster Society. It's a membership. It's like a club. It's a society. I don't know how much it is, like $400 or $500 a year. But it's, I mean, he helps you with everything and anything. They have a Slack group with all the different channels and like Barry, like Podcast Engineering School was all, audio production. Daniel's Podcaster Society is everything, all aspects, and it's really good. I'm actually in his community as I'm the audio engineering expert. So people in his Podcaster Society that have questions about audio production, I'm there to help, answer some questions here and there. But anyway, yeah, or you could just find like someone who knows WordPress really well and talk to them. Yeah, and so Barry, I would, if list out the specific things you need help with, and then between Libsyn, I mean, hopefully you could figure out who to ask the questions to. Sometimes those things too, in your life when you like have a bunch of questions about something, but you haven't like written it down or really specified it. And so in your mind, it seems like this big thing, like, oh my God, I got to figure this out and that out and all. And so in our minds, it seems bigger than it is. But once you actually sit down and figure out what you need to learn, and then you can, YouTube, you could probably learn so much on YouTube as well. So, you know what I mean? So once you clarify what you need to learn and then just nail it down. And if I can help at all, let me know, Barry. Well, you're in the Slack group for the school. Yeah, Daniel's awesome. So here's one thing that in this post. Look at this post, how big this is. Anchor has 72,000 podcasts. By the way, that's way more than... Look, SoundCloud, supposedly, well, I guess it does, has the most, 83,000 podcasts. Anchor has 72.6 thousand. Libsyn only has 41,000. So this is interesting. But you come down here to Anchor. Sorry, I'm scrolling. Yeah. Anchor, 72,000 podcasts. Look at this. This is the stat right here that he tweeted, and it's just amazing. 41.6 thousand podcasts have 3 or fewer episodes. That's almost 58% of all the podcasts on Anchor. They either have 3 episodes or less. So what does that tell you? It tells me, I would guess that most people who start a quote-unquote podcast on Anchor, they don't get very far. They might do 1 or 2 or 3, but that's it. So, right? And I'm sure with the other, like, I'll go back up to this list. I'm sure with all these hosting companies, there's a lot of people that start a podcast and don't get very far. I guarantee it. But it just seems like with Anchor, that number, the percentage is way higher because of the lower barrier to entry and all that stuff. So anyway, that's a interesting post by Daniel. You can just go to his Audacity to podcast. You could just click on. Wait. What did I click on before? I'm confused. Anyway, the Audacity podcast. You guys know that. All right, Serial season 3 is the podcast's biggest ever. So the biggest season for Serial is season 3, and I have to tell you that I may have mentioned this before. I listened to was it the first episode or the first? It was like the introduction to I think it was the introduction to season 3. And in the introduction, they basically said that we're not going to follow one case through the whole season like they did in season 1. And even in season 2, that was the whole thing with the Afghanistan guy and all that. Season 3, they were going to just do a bunch of different court cases and stuff. And I was like, so I just lost interest. I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, I wasn't interested enough to keep listening. So I didn't, and I haven't heard it. And I don't know. I guess people are saying it's good, and I assume it's good, but yeah. So if you guys, has anyone here listened to the entire season 3 of Serial? If you've listened to the entire season of Serial, season 3, type 1 into the chat. Right? I don't know if anyone has. Wait, it's 9th and wait, what is this? Is it like when something catches your eye but then you can't find it? I thought it just said publish its 9th and final episode. Anyway. Never listened to season 1 of Serial, Sandy. Yeah, season 1 of Serial was all that they said it was. That was definitely one of the best audio podcast series ever made. I mean, that was my opinion. So if you haven't listened to season 1 of Serial, do it. You'll be entertained, and it's interesting, and it's well done, very well done. The SNL parody of Serial. No, I didn't see that, Brandon. Yeah, I didn't listen to that. All right. So, Koo. Have you guys tried Koo yet? KOO exclamation point. Oh, wait, I get it. It's supposed to look like cool, but it's Koo with the exclamation. No, I don't know. I just looking at it, that's what it looks like. See, a social network for short form podcasts. So again, another one. Is this trying to be like Anchor? Is it, it lets users record up to 1 minute of audio. And you can add sound stickers like a drum roll or a poop sound. And you could share the Koo in a feed with your friends and followers. Wow. It's like 1 minute of audio. So cool, they don't need the L. Yeah, and I don't know, like this, like, I don't know, maybe it's cool, cool, maybe it'll work, maybe it'll be a cool app, but it just seems like with audio, it's like people are trying to force audio to be used in social media, and it's just not the same, right? It's not the same. I mean, maybe for the younger generation, like the Snapchat people, like who are just doing stuff and they just do stuff because they're at that age when they're like, oh, I'm cool, I'm just doing stuff. You know, maybe that's what they'll do, but I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I wonder if can anyone verify if Gary Vaynerchuk has already jumped on the Koo bandwagon? Gary V's awesome. If he started doing it, then I would take it more seriously, for sure. Koo. Yeah, it's way too cutesy. Plus, they had to use the word poop in their description of what it is, right? I mean, Anyway, all right, let's move on, shall we? Let's move on. All right, well, Rode just came out with the Rode, what is it called? The Rodecaster. That little mixer. Well, the new mixer it's a USB interface and whatever. Rodecaster Pro. That's it. Rodecaster Pro. Anyway, looks like there's a new microphone on its way from our friends at Rode Mic, specifically for podcasters. Based on their videos for the Rodecaster Pro, you can see them using a new mic, and it appears to be called the Rode Pod Mic, based on the Rodecaster display. Oh, so they're looking at this little image right here, the display. It says Rode Pod Mic, and then they're looking at this microphone, which I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen it before. I can't immediately tell what it is, but anyway, Rode, see, I don't know. I applaud them trying to make stuff for podcasters. And yes, Rode has a podcaster mic, right? They have the broadcaster and the podcaster. And what's the other one? I don't know. I think that's it. Yeah, well, but I bet this is the difference. I bet this mic that they're showing, if it really is a Rode Pod Mic, I bet it's going to be a lot cheaper, like a lot cheaper, because the Rode Procaster, the Rode Podcaster. Wait, there's a Rode Procaster as well. Yes, the Rode Procaster. That's that. I'm not going to see how much it costs. I forget what these things cost. But then you have the Rode Podcaster, and that looks like this. Yeah, and the Podcaster is USB. Yeah, this is a USB broadcast microphone. And yeah, then you got the Procaster, which is it's an XLR mic. It's a dynamic. Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, broadcast quality dynamic, and then of course the Rode Broadcaster, which I have one of these, and I was so looking forward to, like, I really, like, before I got the Rode Broadcaster, I already thought in my mind, I'm like, this is the mic for me. This is the one I'm going to use. I'm going to take this vintage RE20 that I'm using, and I'm not going to use it because the Rode Broadcaster is just awesome. It's a condenser mic, but it has a cardioid pattern. So I was like, wow, it'll have the clarity and has a higher output. And, I was like, oh, Broadcaster, this is what I'm going to use. And then I got one, and I was testing it, and to me, for my voice, again, it's always the mix of the voice and the mic. It's so hard to talk about a mic by itself. I mean, you can make generalizations, but it has to do with the voice and the mic. It's a match. It's like chocolate and peanut butter. You got to get the right match, and then it sounds really good. So the Broadcaster, for me, when I listened back, it was like almost like sharp or harsh. Like it was really clear, but maybe, I don't know, like, it's hard to explain, but I just felt it was a little too sharp and not enough, not enough beef. And maybe I'm used to this RE20. And like I told you guys before, when I'm doing the live stream, I'm probably a good 5 or 6 inches from this mic. But when I do my podcast, I get right up on the mic, and so I get more proximity effect. I get more fullness in the mic. Barry, yeah, you got a Procaster? It says Protester. You got the Procaster, and I identified it. Yeah, so Barry Gary, of course, since he was a student at Podcast Engineering School, one day he's like, hey, I want to try different mics, and or maybe I even offered to you, I forget, but you sent me like 4 or 5 different recordings of Barry's voice on different mics, and he didn't label them at all. I didn't know what mic was which. So it was awesome. I just got to listen to, like, I think it was 4 or 5, I can't remember, I got to listen to 4 or 5 different clips of Barry Gary and listen and then tell him which one I thought was the best fit for his voice. So that was cool. I actually... Right? I want to bring up your show, Barry Gary. The Louisville Cycling Podcast. That's right. If anyone listening or watching is into cycling, check out Barry Gary's show. So yeah, anyway, so the broadcaster, so I was like, I don't know, like, you know those times in your life when you hype yourself up for something? Like maybe you want a new TV or a new car, and like for months you're just like, yes, I'm going to get the new thing. And then you get it, and it's like, it just doesn't live up to the hype in your own mind. That's what happened to me with the broadcaster. I mean, it's right over there. I mean, I really wish I could use it. So, I don't know. Because sometimes I think... The eldest bro. How close to the end are we? The end of what, dude? Yeah, if you're talking about the stream, we're 1 hour and 23 minutes in to a 2-hour stream. So we got 37 minutes left. See, Sandy DeWald's husband is a new listener. Oh, yeah. All right. So I did answer you. Eldest bro. Cool. Anyway, this is my heartbreak right here. This is my long lost love, the broadcaster. Again, it's right over there. One of these streams, I should literally have like 7 or 8 mics right here, right? That'd be cool. And then I can, go down the line. Auto correction sucks. Yeah, it does. Well, sometimes. So where were we? Wait, what the? Seriously, where were we? I literally forget. Oh, we were talking about Coup. Okay, Coup. Okay, great. Oh yeah, then we're talking about Road. Yep. So there you go. So Barry Gary rocking the Procaster. That's cool. Rode makes good stuff, man. Really do. And even though the broadcaster wasn't perfect for my voice, it is a great mic. I mean, I don't know. It's just a great mic. It just wasn't perfect for my voice. So, all right. Darknet Diaries. I mentioned this. Did you guys know? You probably didn't see the very beginning of the stream. When I start this stream, what I do is, because when I start the stream, there's 0 people watching, right? So, but then I got to start it and start talking. So what I do is I actually, say hello, and then I quickly go through all the topics that I'm going to talk about. So like the first minute or 2 is like it's a quick review of everything we're going to cover. Or everything that I prepared, I should say. So. Right? See, nobody watching on Facebook. All right. So the Darknet Diaries, I found this because, and I don't know this show. I don't know anything, and I haven't listened to this episode yet. But apparently, their episode 27 has to do with the Apple Podcast charts. And this was mentioned in the Pod News email, which I don't know. We talked about this. Pod News is an email newsletter. That's awesome. It's literally daily and it's just awesome. If you're not signed up for this, you should definitely sign up. Every day, good stuff, quick overview. And so for my streams, I normally like look through the past week of Pod News and see what stories are interesting. So not all of what I do, probably about half of what the stream I get from, email newsletters. There's other email newsletters too that I pull from, but anyway, Apple Podcast top charts. I mean, does anyone in the chat really care about the top charts in Apple Podcasts? I mean, how many times does Dave Jackson and Daniel J. Lewis and Ray Ortega and every single person in the podcasting world who knows what they're talking about, how many times have they all said that new and noteworthy is nothing? It doesn't mean anything. And you know what I mean? And even being in the top charts doesn't really mean anything. They've done so many tests and studies, and right? I mean, God, it's like everybody who first comes into podcasting, they get, I don't know what happens. Does like some evil demon visit their house as soon as they get into the podcasting world, and the evil demon comes and says, look, Apple Podcasts, the charts, and new and noteworthy are the most important thing. Period. I mean, why does every new podcaster think that? It's crazy. Right? So anyway, I haven't listened to this yet, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I will, because I actually don't care that much. The podcasts I've been listening to, actually, I didn't even get to my whole list. Oh, the Podcasters Roundtable. I won't talk about that. And it's in my newsletter. I put the newsletter, the monthly resources for podcasters and producers, which I talked about earlier. Which, if you want to sign up for that, you can just go to podcastengineeringschool.com, and right on the top right here, sign up to receive monthly resources. So you just click here, and you'll come here, and then you can sign up. And by the way, when you sign up, this is the GDPR crap. You see this little checkbox with email? If you don't check this, I cannot send you email. Right? And people do sign up. They'll put in everything. They'll put in their name and email, and they won't check the box, and they'll say subscribe. And guess what? They're not subscribed. Sorry. That's not my rule. That's these idiots somewhere. Some idiots. There's got to be a pack of idiots somewhere who made this up. There you go, Barry Gary. New and soundworthy. Oh, that's good. Well, what was that one show? One of my guests has a show. Oh, I'm not going to be able to remember their name. Anyway, I'll think of it. But anyway, it's a previous guest on my show, and they just interviewed Paul McCartney. I don't know. Does anyone remember what show that was and who the host was? They're from the UK. Two guys from the UK do a show. One of them was on my show, and it was like a month and a half ago, they interviewed Paul McCartney. And anyway, their show sounds good. Oh, you just signed up? Yes, Sandy, I saw that. Thank you. I hope you checked I hope you checked this box. Oh my God, what a nightmare! Seriously. And Sandy just signed up for the cycling and archery podcast. Oh man, this is matchmaking. All right, where am I? What was I going back here to show you guys? Oh, no, the thing is, tomorrow in my email, not tomorrow, Friday morning it comes out. So sign up before Friday morning, or else you have to wait another month. But anyway, I talk about a couple of the podcasts I've been listening to recently. So here we go. That's Darknet Diaries, talking about Apple Podcast charts, if you're interested in that. And here is Libsyn's podcast directory. Right? So this is all Libsyn podcasts. Now there's a site where you can search for any Libsyn podcasts. So let's put in engineering. Ooh, let's see what comes up. Gee, I wonder who has a show with the word engineering in it. All right, so here you go. Here's page 1 of 2. Yada. Oh, I didn't make the first page. Oh. All right, here's page 2. Did I make it at all? Ah, I did make it. Ah, the podcast engineering show. Ah. Wait, show. What is it? What if I click show? What is it? What does it show? Ooh. All right. Well, there you go. Libsyn podcast directory. Oh, wait. I clicked on Libsyn. What is it going to bring me to? Oh, yeah. So there you go. If you want to search podcasts on Libsyn, that's pretty cool. Or search your own, see how it looks. I don't know. Oh, Sandy, you had to do all that to sign up? For real? Oh. Barry, I got you covered, man. There it is. See how it looks. Look at you with different artwork for each episode. See, I don't do that, but that's right. That's pretty cool. See, on a page like this, it looks cool. I'm just looking in my podcast app. Oh, well, it's not. I'm not connected to the internet. So no, I could probably look at the podcasts and the episodes. Yeah. Well. Yeah. So that's good. Looks good, Barry. All right, so that's the Libsyn directory. Oh yeah, okay. All right, now, so the Waves plugin called Sibilance, they gave this away like a little while ago, and I signed up for it to get it for free. But wait, what if I click on my account? Am I signed in? Oh. Well, my products. Let's see if they finally added it to my products. See, it's not in there. Oh, wait. It's not in there. See, I signed up for the free plugin, Sibilance. They had this big promotion. Ooh, get a plugin for free. Sign up. And or whatever. I did whatever they told me to do, and I didn't get it. Anyway, this is a list of all my plugins. Wow. All right. Anyway. Yeah, so I haven't tried this de-esser, okay? So I can't say if it's great or not. Detection, threshold, mode. Okay, it looks interesting, but you know. Anyway. You have no plugins? Dude. See? Try to resist. Can only resist for so long. Yeah, plugins are, well, it's kind of like once you start going into plugins, then it's like a drug habit, you know? You just like it's like, but it's awesome. I mean, dude, look. All right, here's Reaper. Reaper's what I use. This is actually an older episode of my show. Well, like a month old. And I mean, dude, plugins, this is what you do, man. You got all these plugins you can just compress and EQ and DS and use a vocal rider and the new FabFilter Pro Q3, which we were talking about earlier with this new cool flat tilt. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at me tilting away. Okay, Sandy, you signed up for the Sibilance too. All right. Yeah, there you go. The Eldest Bro. I mean, if you do most of it live and you just use your... Yeah. There you go. Anthony's been playing with the Omni channel. Yeah, the Shep's Omni channel is awesome. The saturation here is a little secret sauce. I add 13 or 14%. It just brings the sound a little closer, gives it a little more, I don't know, crispness, or it's hard to explain what it does, but it's saturated. It's almost like slight distortion, but so slight that it's not distortion, but it just brings it a little closer, real nice, smooth, little saturation, and the even harmonics. Well, you can choose odd, even, or heavy, and you can go through them all and listen and choose. But I think even is the smoothest. But if you want to figure out what you like, odd, even, or heavy, put this up to 100, and then switch back and it's going to be terribly distorted, but you're just put it up to 100 and then switch back and forth. And whichever one is the least annoying, like the least grating sounding, that's the one you want to use. And that's why I chose even. So anyway, I love the saturation. The gate's nice. EQ's nice. 2 de-essers. Yeah. The Money Pit. Yes. Of course I've seen the Money Pit. That's plugins, man. The Money Pit. Although, Barry, I'm pretty much at my limit. Like, the only new one I tried was, and this is going to be in the email, and I think I mentioned it last week, was, wait, where is it? Specialty? Yeah, Specialty. Is the Soothe. Yeah. Soothe. Yep. There you go. The eldest bro. I know what you're saying, man. Hey, if it's working, go with it, dude. You don't need plugins if you don't need them. I mean, that's a dumb statement, right? Of course you don't need them if you don't need them. So, yeah. So Soothe is the newest one I'm trying. Actually, I don't think I bought it. I think I'm on trial. Or maybe I did buy it. I don't know. Anyway, it's kind of like a de-esser, but it can be a little more full frequency and harmonic resonance and all that. So, all right, let's get back to the the DB Challenge, right? Should I play the DB Challenge? Wait, what other games are there though on Sound Gym? You know? Today's workout. DB King, Peak Master, Kit Cut, Delay Control, and Pan Man. Really? My current level is 2? What does that mean? Anyway, Sound Gym is... I don't think I'm going to mess around with playing games right now. That's it? We were talking about tea earlier. My friend has a tea shop. Authentic Chinese tea, like for real authentic. That's it. We went through everything that was on the list. Well, we're 20 minutes away. There you go. That's my old setup. Oh, that's my old setup right there. The Disruptive Entrepreneur. I'll have to put that into... Wait a minute. I'll put this into the show notes, so to speak. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but like... Yeah, the eldest bro. This is my friend Wei and Gregor. They have this tea shop. It's awesome, dude. Arogia.net. It's expensive, but it's like for real. Like she goes to China a couple times a year, picks out the tea and everything. So it's like really awesome. Yeah, this Disruptive Entrepreneur podcast. Oh, there's 2 of them. Yeah, and you know what? I should. I made in my Wonder List. Maybe I could show you this. Where is it? Rob Moore, 15 types of good content. So, all right, let me Control-C that. And let me put that. Where am I going to put it? Where am I going to put it right now? That's the question. I could put it in notes. Is that going to be big enough? Okay, so this is the... whoa. Can you guys see this? Oh, you can. So this is... right? Remember, we're talking about this show, The Disruptive Entrepreneur with Rob Moore. And we're talking about this episode down here, episode number 323, 15 ways to create great content, etc. And I was raving about how much I liked it. Barry Gary, tea with the Woodford Bourbon cream? Wow. You make some green tea with mild and honey. For some reason, people get angry about that. Really? Green tea's awesome and mild green tea with honey. Yeah, that sounds great. My tea. So most of the teas I just drink them black. So I just brew it, medium strength, and I just like the tea, man. Sometimes I do add honey, very rare. Well, actually, so this past summer we were at this fair in Colorado, out in the mountains, and there was a fair, and they were selling honey that they got from the honeybees, like in a local farm. And so I bought some of that. Dude, it was so good. It's like I was just drinking it right from the bottle, man. Like it was crazy good. And so I would put that in everything, right, for a little while. But there's nothing like really good honey that's fresh from the honeybees right from a farm. Because then I finished that real quick, and then my wife's like, oh, I have more honey here. And it was like this bottle of honey from the store. And I tried it, and it was... I couldn't. It was terrible. So, yeah, local honey, exactly. And now, seriously, now if I ever see one of those guys at a fair with real honey, like I'm going to buy several bottles. I'm not just going to buy one, right? Because that stuff stays good for a long time, right? Especially if you don't open it, right? You just keep it shut. Man, that honey was so good. I would just go into the kitchen and just literally squirt a bunch into my mouth, and then, oh, it's crazy. So anyway, the 15 ways to create great content. I wrote down a bunch. This is what, oh no, we don't want that. This is what it was. Number one, oh, he talks about everyone just, is this big enough? Can I make this bigger? I wish I could open Word, but I don't want to open Word with all my with everything running and streaming and everything. Like, zoom in. Yeah, wait, what do I hit? Well, I'll just keep hitting this. So the first one, he talks about that most people, they just talk about what they do. Like, this is what I did. They're like, oh, I'm eating food. I'm doing this. They'll take a picture of the food. And then, but he says, dude, this is what I did, and this is what I learned. So when you're doing something, you can do it and show it on social media, but then share what you learned. That just makes it a way better post. I mean, this is what I was talking about earlier. I don't know. It's so simple, but I love that. I just needed someone to tell me that. Then the next one is story and bridge. So tell a story, then bridge into a takeaway or a lesson or a distinction. And then he says you could do the story bridge offer. So same thing, tell a story, then bridge into a takeaway or a lesson, and then give a special offer at the end. I mean, so simple. The rant, he says sometimes you can rant. Every now and then you should go on a good rant. Because people like rants, but you can't do it too often. Right? Command plus. Yeah, but it was like command plus period or something. Yeah. Or shift command period. There we go. All right, there we go. All right, so the rant, okay, good. I do some ranting on this show. Not really ranting, but newsjacking. Obviously, you could just comment on the news and all that, right? Then, talk about the news and then add the lesson you can learn. Okay, good. That's a good takeaway. All right, element of surprise. Like 5 surprising things entrepreneurs never tell you about running a business. Like, okay, that's not like real new news to me. That's people do that stuff all the time. He said test the message that you're sharing is what people want. Like obviously do like Google Analytics and all that, which that's one of my weaknesses for sure. Behind the scenes, that's pretty cool. Like he says, if you're traveling somewhere or on your way somewhere, do a little something. The pain your audience feels, like focus on some of the pain that they're feeling and just talk about it and maybe give some thoughts on it or give some tips or something. Motivational posts. He said don't make them vague and don't overuse it, right? Motivational posts, because that gets old. Then all these rest, he just rattled off real quick and he's like, oh, I'm going to do another episode about it. But reversing what everyone is tired of. Checking your analytics and doing more of the most popular content. Yeah. Mistakes you made. That's pretty cool. Being honest, being vulnerable. The 7 ways, whatever. Real life case studies, interviews. Okay, fine. So yeah, I mean, there's like probably 3 or 4 in here that just the way he told it, it just really helped me. So now what I'm going to do, my plan is going to be to use that list of stuff, and I'm just going to go through and just like brainstorm a bunch of content and just make a list of all this content that I can create. And then maybe every day or every other day, I can just look at my list and say, yeah, I'll create that one today and do that. So I don't know. It just helps because I don't know about you guys, but like coming up with like social media content for me is difficult. That's not how my brain works. Like all that stuff I just showed you, I don't think in terms of that. I don't have a marketer's mind, right? I have an engineer's mind. So they do beekeeper meetups here in South Carolina. Oh, that's awesome. Great interview question I got from Dave Jackson's podcast. What's something you've changed your mind about lately? Oh, that is a good question. My answer would be the EMFs, man. I don't know. That's like changes a lot for me. But there you go. Ooh, now the music is really calming down. I'm glad the music has been okay today. Like sometimes it's been a little goofy, but not too goofy where I need to go change it. But this one seems like really, really chill. It's too chill. Should I thumbs down this song? This is too chill for my stream, yeah. All right, here comes the next one. So yeah, the Rode mics. So Podcasters Roundtable. Do you guys watch Podcasters Roundtable? So they stream about I think every 3 weeks is about the average. And it's hosted by Ray Ortega. And on the roundtable with him, or at the roundtable, I don't know how you would say it, but is Dave Jackson, Daniel J. Lewis, and Ray Ortega, obviously. And then they usually have a guest or two. So I was on there once, but I was really happy to be invited to be on there. So, I mean, that's like Dave Jackson, Daniel J. Lewis, and Ray Ortega. That's 3 out of the 4 faces on the Mount Rushmore of podcasting. Or podcast teaching. Yeah, podcast teachers or coaches or something. Anyway, right? Ray Ortega, Dave Jackson, Daniel J. Lewis. And for me, in 2012 and 2013, Cliff Ravenscraft was the 4th face on the Mount Rushmore of podcast teachers. But now he doesn't do that anymore. So I don't know who the 4th... I haven't thought about it. I wonder who the 4th head should be. We had bees get in the eaves of our house, called the local guy who removed them for free and put them in his set of his own hives. He gave us some whipped honey. So good. Whipped honey. Wait, what is whipped honey? Sandy. Oh, I can highlight it. Look at this. See? Copy. Is Bandrew here? Oh, Bandrew for the Mount Rushmore for podcasters. You know, thank you. Thank you. I could, in the moment, I'll agree with that. Because I don't know who else to put there. And you can't put yourself there, right? I mean, I don't know if I qualify for that, but I can't put myself there. But, yeah, Bandrew actually lives, he lives in the state. I think he lives in New Mexico, which is borders Colorado. And anyway, I was also thinking of you guys know Rupert Neve. He designed obviously the Neve EQs and compressors, the classics. And then he worked, I think he started the company Focusrite, but then he left. But that's like, I think that he started Focusrite. And then, Neve, AMS Neve, Focusrite, AMEC. And now it's Rupert Neve Designs. But they're based, so Rupert Neve Designs is based in Texas. And by the way, the Shelford channel. Oh, whipped honey is spreadable. I got it. This is the one Bandrew was asking me about, the Shelford channel. Oh wait. Yeah, the Shelford channel. It only costs what, $3,800 or $3,700? I mean, come on, that's a deal. I really wish we could try it. Anyway, I wanted to go to Texas to see if I can go. I don't know where Rupert Neve lives, but I don't know. But there's no way I can get in touch and like maybe go interview Rupert Neve. Like, you're right. There's no way. I mean, what am I gonna do? Call up? Hello. I'd like to interview Rupert Neve. I mean, seriously. There's just no way to do. Like, I wish I could do things like that, but there's no way. And some people might say, no, there's a chance, you should ask, and that's true, and so maybe I should. Right? It might work. I don't know. Might work. Might not work. I mean, the problem I have so here's the problem I have. I'm willing to call up Rupert Neve Designs and ask to interview Rupert Neve and then get shot down. But I don't have people who actually get stuff done, they don't take no for an answer, right? They keep at it. They'll keep calling. They'll find another way. They'll write a letter. They'll do this. They'll get it done, right? Or annoy the crap out of the people so they literally would never do it. But I don't know. I don't like. It's not my nature to like force my way. You know what I mean? Like impose my will and like that. I don't know. I don't. When I ask someone something and they say no, I respect the no. Like I don't want to bother you. So maybe that's not a good attitude to have. I don't know. I mean, I have a lot of big things I want to do in life, but the problem is it's hard because you get rejected. That's the other thing. The rejection, I can handle some rejection, but like if it's like every day for like a month or something, like I can't handle that. Like I would give up. So, right? Yeah, asking, exactly. You ask, you can ask, but then I mean, like one of my dreams, and I think someday it should happen, is that I want to have a big retreat center, maybe in Colorado, maybe in Montana, somewhere in the nature, like deep in nature, not near anything, and have a whole retreat center and teach meditation and all that. Because I don't know if you know, but I've been practicing meditation for many years. I actually teach meditation. My wife and I have a meetup based on meditation and all this. So it's been a big part of my life for 20 years or more. So that's like my end game, right? That's like when I'm old and I'm done and I don't want to deal with, recording podcasts through Zencastr and Ringer and dealing with people with earbuds. Like when I'm done with all that and I can't take anymore. Like I just want to be in a retreat center in nature and be meditating and actually help people bring it back to yourself and keep your sanity. It's one thing if you look around in life, and it's hard to look around if you're not settled yourself, but like when you get really settled and you look around at how people are living, I mean, everyone is just, it's almost like everyone is frantic. Like everyone's like this, living life. Oh, I got to get this. Oh, I got to get this. Oh. Sometimes they're happy, sometimes they're sad, but it's just like this. And that's tough, right? See, as soon as I mention the music, See, I started messing with the music, and now I'm toast. All right, it's almost over. I don't know if this one was really that bad either. And I started looking at all these new Neve modules. They have like it's like the old lunchbox. Yeah, right here. See this picture? Can I open image in new tab? I hope this image is big. No. Anyway, you see that, right? It's like they call it, well, they used to call it like a lunchbox, but then all these little modules you can take them out. So you get the container or the lunchbox, and then you buy these modules to go in there. Like you could buy some EQs, compressors, mic pre, whatever you want. And Neve sells all the different modules, and it's cool. But you know this is like really expensive stuff. This is not not for podcasters. Yeah, that music is really good for the meditation retreat. Wow. So do you guys have any questions? We're coming up on the end here. And you know what's funny? I before the stream today, I wanted to record. So here's the thing. And I know you've all been there. I got to put out, it's been 2 weeks since my last podcast episode. And I don't mind putting out an episode every 2 weeks, but if it's more than 2 weeks, that sort of bothers me. So I got to record an episode for tomorrow, and I really just decided that, you know what? I've never recorded an episode of my show, the Podcast Engineering Show, where I actually talk in detail about the school, about Podcast Engineering School, and like who it's for, what it is, what's all included, and you know what you can do with all that knowledge, right? I've never actually gone through it in detail. And I'm like, I mean, it's been a couple years. So I made some notes, and it's not going to be that long. I don't want it to be like, you know, an hour-long thumping sales pitch. It's not a sales pitch. I'm just going to describe the school, because I think a lot of my listeners, I mean, they know I have a school, and when I say, you know, like the tagline for my website, learn to engineer and produce podcasts at a professional level. Yeah, well, what does that mean? And why would I do that? And, you know, why can't I just plug in my ATR 2100 and I'm good to go? And, well, in reality, the answer is, no, you are good to go. So you don't need my school. So, anyway, so I wanted to, so I'm going to record after this. I kind of want to do it right after this. Or I was thinking about doing it on the stream, just doing it live. But just record the audio, and then tomorrow I'll put out that episode of my podcast. I'll probably stop the stream, and then I'll record it. It shouldn't be more than a half an hour, right? Maybe even 20 minutes. I just want to go through it, and again, I don't want to make it too long for listeners, but I thought putting out that episode tomorrow would be good. So, microphone bleed, you're getting it and it's driving you nuts. What do you mean, Barry Gary? Your microphone, or were you joking? The eldest bro. Dude, how did you put all that in chat? What is that? It looks like a snake with the guy's face. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen that before. I'm not a Twitchy. I mean, I used to watch stuff on Twitch, but oh, the guest's coming across in your other mic. Oh, well, yeah, you got two mics in the same room, yeah. Yeah, that's natural. I mean, yes, Sandy, that's what I thought. I'll talk about PE. I'll do it all in one episode, talk about the school, go through it in detail, and then in the future, if anyone asks about it, I could say, hey, go listen to that episode, right? Exactly. That is Bandrew's face? Squidrew? Oh, you made him? Oh, that's funny. I miss Bandrew. He my first like 2 or 3 streams, he was on the stream. Almost the whole 2 hours. And then I think for the past 3 weeks he hasn't been here. It's just not the same without him. Yeah. I know he was busy working on he came out with a video. What video did he recently come out with? he came out with a video that was like, yeah, it was like his holiday, audio gear gift guide 2018. 13 and a half minutes, right? 5 days ago. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that took him maybe double the production time of a normal video of his. Maybe more than double. Oh, yeah, he was sick. So he didn't put out, well, what did he miss? 1 week? I mean, Bandrew's like a machine. He just puts stuff out. Wow, yesterday I didn't see this yet. The old 421. Wait, 421-2, like a Mark II. I wonder what the difference is, because we used to use the old 421s all the time in the studio. That was like for tom-toms. That was like one of the best mics to use for toms. And bass guitar cabinets. I've used the old 421s on bass guitar cabinets. And I think that's it. Yeah, it's been a while since I worked on music. And sometimes it's like I just remember stuff, right? Like I didn't remember to remember. It just came to me and I remember it because it's somewhere inside me. Oh, that's a good idea, Sandy, to pin the post. Yeah, no, his audio gift guide was good, but it's so hard to do the audio, like there's, I mean, he's reviewed and so much gear and everything, like he couldn't put it all in there, right? So he had to choose, and so, you know, there's a bunch of stuff in there, but or maybe I just know too much gear too, but it's very helpful though. Good video. Yeah, so well, we are past the 2 hours. I love going past the 2 hours because like when the stream ends up like 2 hours and 2 hours and 30 seconds, like it's like, eh. But when it's like 2 hours and 5 minutes, it just feels a little better. Like we went, you know, a small significant amount over 2 hours. I know that's so stupid, but anyway, I'm a new streamer and yeah, Barry Gary, you have a closet full of microphones. Dude, I do too, yeah. But I'm sort of hanging on to mine because I don't know if I'm ever going to do the microphone test drive booth again. So I'm not doing it at NAB, and I'm not doing it at Podcast Movement or Podfest. So, yeah, well, thanks for hanging out, Barry Gary. Thank you, Anthony, Sandy, Heather, Ed. And if I missed you, I'm sorry, but thank you. I mean, of course I miss people. There's like 100,000 people listening and watching. Hello. All right. Well, anyway, let's we can end it here. Let's do it. Let's end it. So the Podcasters Lounge, thank you all. We'll see you here next week. And don't forget, this is a lounge we're hanging out. If you have questions, you can email me, send me questions. If you have news stories you want to share, please. If there's an episode you recently did that you love, you want to tell me about, please. I mean, all you guys, seriously, this is like, I mean, I'm here kind of like moderating, but I really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you. And so check out my episode tomorrow, the Podcast Engineering Show, and also you can jump on the monthly resources for podcasters and producers, the email list. You can jump on that, and yeah, and you're probably already subscribed to my podcast, right? The Podcast Engineering Show, yeah, baby. Oop.
Yeah, oh yeah.
See, I went to press the Barry button, but I whiffed. I tapped it too lightly. So, all right, let's end it here. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week. Rock on. There you go. And live well. I don't have a closing statement that I normally make, but yeah, Sandy, thanks for coming. I'm glad you could too. Good night, everybody. All right, punching out. See ya.